Strategy. Welcome back on Monday, December 8th. It is 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Breakdown, episode 635. Sponsored by Gemini. And as you see, the Gemini commercial, go to Gemini.com/David G and check out the line of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. You got the Bitcoin credit card, you got the XRP credit card, and you got the Solana credit card, all giving you back 4% back on your purchases, issued by a web bank. Check it out again, Gemini.com/David G. And also, click on my link. That's right, click on my link that I share out there. Click the link, sign up to Gemini. First time signers, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Be a part of the Gemini family. That's right. That's right. I'm here. I'm here. What's going on? I know you missed me. I missed you too. Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 635, sponsored by Gemini. Monday markets, man. We are. Let me go ahead and pull up the Monday markets here. Let's go ahead and discuss this real quick. Go ahead and see what's going on. By the way, shout out to the people that are tuning into TikTok. I think I found my new home. I think it's going to be TikTok. Ratings are phenomenal. People are showing up. People are loving the conversations that are happening on TikTok, and I'm loving them as well. So shout out to TikTok, the algorithm. I feel like the algorithm is so much better on there, but it is what it is. All right, total market cap for the crypto market is basically $3 trillion. Okay, officially it's 3.0. What is it? 3.07 trillion. You got Bitcoin. It's going back and forth. It's bouncing back and forth, but it's at $90,000. So shout out to Bitcoin, $90,000. You got Ethereum at 3,100. You got XRP, which is at 207. You got BNB at 894.25. You got Solana at 135. You got Tron at 28. Okay, 28. There goes Tron. Dogecoin at 14. And you got ADA, which is up 3%, and that's Cardano at 43 cents, almost 44. So shout out to the top 10. I discussed this yesterday on a different platform. Broke down some of my favorite cryptocurrencies, digital assets that I think that are absolutely oversold, not being talked about much. I think there's a phenomenal opportunity to go ahead and get in. That's actually funny. I'm looking at the privacy sector right now. Zcash has made a huge comeback. It is up 23, almost 24% in the last 24 hours. I'm kind of wishing that Monero goes a little bit back so I can get more. That's what I'm really wishing, is for Monero to go ahead and actually pull back. But it's nice to see. Like Zcash really jumped overnight, so that's wild. It was in the I think it was like 330 or something, 335 as of yesterday, but now it's jumped up. Litecoin is up 2.5%. It's at 83.52. I keep saying people are sleeping on Litecoin. Sui is something that I've talked about. I think Sui does have the potential to pull a Solana. I know I will get ripped apart for that opinion, but I really do think Sui has the ability to pull somewhat of a Solana here. Worst case scenario, does half of what Solana does, and you're sitting pretty good, and it's at $1.60. I remember when Solana got smoked to $8, and people were also talking about that, it's never going to come back. It's trash. Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, all the shit that was popping off, and yet it's sitting at 135. So, I already talked about XRP. Aave is really, honestly, I don't know why there's not much more talk about Aave. I don't understand why more people don't talk about Aave. It's just very confusing. Near Protocol is up 4% today. It's at 176. Near Protocol went to $20. So I don't know. Is this does the AI chain really interest you? And I would think that it would. Pepe has bounced back. It's in the $2 billion area. So yesterday I was at I think it was at 1.8, and now it's at almost $2.1 billion. That's something to go ahead and look at. This is an opportunity, man. This reminds me of exactly where Pepe was in the beginning of its life, where you have an opportunity to continue to accumulate before it goes completely insane, and it is up 12.31% today. So what else? What else is there? Algorand, it is up 1%. It's at 13. I'm telling you, Algorand. If Algorand changes its name, it will go ahead and start to fly. Pump is at Pump is up 3.5%. So again, nice to see. XDC also up today. A lot of things are up. Today. It's nice to see things are up. Pengu's up almost 4% today. So the market, again, I'm not excited yet. I'm not excited yet. Fear and greed index is at 24. Altcoin index is at 18 out of 100. Shout out to CoinMarketCap, the sponsor. But yeah, I'm not going to get excited until I see a few more days of this. I'm really more looking forward to Q1 of 2026 more so than anything else. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm more excited about than anything else. But shout out to everybody again. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in to the breakdown. Shout out to all the new followers that are tuning in. Shout out to you guys. Thank you very much for joining in. Uh, for the first time, if you're a first time viewer, this is the breakdown. We break down crypto, we break down politics. We talk about a lot of things. Monday morning, man. Monday morning, man. I didn't get a lot of sleep this weekend. I didn't get a lot of sleep because I've been looking at, a lot of platforms. I think the X algorithm is absolutely trash. That's right, 100% grade A trash. I understand why people use, you know, this is something that I looked at. If you're a content creator and you're obviously creating videos all the time, you wanna make sure that you're on a platform that appreciates videos. And I think I don't know what X is going through. Only Elon can go ahead and answer that, and obviously the staff. I love X, formerly known as Twitter, but the algorithm isn't good right now. It is bad. Not just me who's saying this, but a lot of people are saying this. The only thing that's actually working are the live streams. And I guess the only way that you can go and get your message across is if you go ahead and rage bait on X. And I don't know, like that's brand dilution when you start doing that. Like, what, you're not bringing any value to the table, so nobody's getting educated. Nobody's understanding what topic you're actually talking about, and I don't feel like doing that. I don't feel like doing. I think rage bait when I go ahead and talk about certain topics that I truly, obviously believe in. I don't need to step it up the next level to go ahead and get 20,000, 30,000 likes. I personally am not interested in gamified systems. I came onto Twitter. I built a humongous brand. I'm not out here. I'm not gonna be out here playing some War Warcrafts type of games with the algorithm to go ahead and be seen. I'll take the 1,000 likes on X. I'll continue to chop it up with the community. But at the end of the day, if you do video content, I think it's definitely beneficial to go to a video streaming platform. Yeah, YouTube sucks. 100% YouTube does suck from the standpoint of freedom of speech is limited. But I mean, if you want to go ahead and be seen, you go on there. You got TikTok, obviously. You got Instagram. I think if you are a content creator, I think these are the places that you need to focus on until X gets it sorted out. Until gets all their stuff sorted out. Because people have asked me, Dave, are you switching over to a different platform? And I'm like, absolutely, most likely. You got Twitch, you got Kick as well. That do a great job. They don't censor, so for the most part, Kick doesn't censor. So there are plenty of options, and you should always keep your options open. And the reason why I'm speaking about this, because there are a lot of content creators that bring value, and they're looking for visibility on their stuff. And hey, like I'm telling you, I'm studying all these algorithms, and there are platforms specifically made for video. So there you go. That's the rant, boys and girls. That's the rant for today. That is the rant for today. Let's see. I got to make sure that this is on, so when people do call, up, they can get through. Today we have Perianne coming on, Perianne and Boring coming on from the digital chamber. We'll go ahead and talk about what's happening out there in DC. She's done a hell of a lot of work. One of the top people within this space, making big time moves to help this space move forward. So exciting to go ahead and speak to her. And then we have James Fishback, who is running for governor uh, out there in Florida. We'll talk to him about about his policies. I really want to go ahead and talk about his policies and what he's looking to do out there in Florida. So um, a lot of political people coming on this week. A lot of people, obviously from crypto, notable names that you guys recognize are coming on. We'll chop it up. We will chop it up and talk some. I just have really good conversations. That's it. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I did. I absolutely did have a great and phenomenal weekend. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. We'll be back right after this commercial break from Gemini. That's right. This program, episode 635, is sponsored by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G. Check out the lineup of credit cards issued by WebBank. The Bitcoin credit card, the XRP credit card, along with the Solana credit card. Up to 4% back on your purchases. Go ahead, check out the details. Gemini.com/David G. Also, sign up to Gemini. Click on the link. And sign up to Gemini. That's right. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. God. I can't stand it when I'm on mute. Welcome back to the show, episode 635, sponsored by Gemini. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, you can call into the show right now, 347-630-2399. That's right. I am the first to go ahead and have this a part of my show. So anybody else who decides to start doing this, just remember where they got the idea from. Just like motherfuckers are wearing suits now. Okay. I've cleaned up the image. I'm cleaning up the image here in crypto. Slowly getting people in suits. And now I got the call-in show. This is the call-in part of the show. 347-630-2399. I also wanted to give a shout out to the people on TikTok. Massive love. Huge ratings happening on TikTok. Love TikTok. Love the personalities that I've met on there. People are absolutely excited about crypto, and I love to see it. I really love to see that stuff pop off on different platforms. People are very interested. And there are people that are looking for value, and that's what we're going to go ahead and deliver. That's what we're set out here to do that every single day. We're set out here to do that every single day. My sound's back. Okay, my sound's back. My suit's back. Obviously, a lot of people saw me in my swag, but ultimately back at it again. Okay, back at it again. Let me just post this out here. Give me just 1 second. Post this out here. A lot of people are scared to go ahead and call up. A lot of people actually DM me, said, I wish I had the balls to go ahead and call you up and just chop it up about the markets. Don't be scared, man. Just like Spaces. For those who have ever been on Spaces, there's nothing to be scared of. Well, let's go. We got our first caller here, so let's go ahead and chop it up, shall we? Give me a sec. By the way, I'm not under the weather. This is what happens when you're streaming nonstop. Your voice just goes out. Your voice it just absolutely goes out. My voice is gone. I miss my voice. The number is working. You just got to call again. The number is working. It is 347-630-2399. Let's go ahead and pick you up here. What's going on? You're live on air. Hello, what's going on?
Hey David, how's it going? You said we're live?
We're live. You're live. You're on air.
Honk, 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 baby. Let the goose loose, David.
Let the goose loose. Okay. Besides letting the goose loose, what's going on, man? What do you think about the markets?
Markets are looking good, man. Just all about timing, and just all about the goose, baby. Honk.
Besides calling up to show your project, besides that thing that you're honking about, have you been buying the dip or not?
Don't lie, David. You've seen the honk, man. Come on now.
Yeah, you know what it is? Like, I'm more interested when people
Solana. Come on now, David.
You see, I'm more interested when people call up and they're like, you know what? Let's talk about the markets. Like, just you know what? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm going to get. You know what I'm gonna do?
That's cute.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
That's cute and all, David.
I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to show your project, and then I'm gonna rate it. So if you wanted to call me up on my show instead of take the opportunity to talk about the goddamn markets, you wanted to take the opportunity to show your project. You got 30 seconds to show it, and then I'm going to rate it. And you know me. You better sell that shit to me within 30 seconds. And if you don't, oh my God, it is going to be worse than Simon judging somebody on America's Got Talent.
Oh, really?
You got 29
you must
seconds.
You must have a lot of pool, David.
28 seconds. 27.
Yeah, so let me start. 30 seconds now. So let me start since you're continuing to talk. So honk, OG Goose on Solana. Tried to get killed by the dev team. Tried to get killed by everybody. Still survived. raising from the ashes. One of the strongest devs in the community, involved in the community takeover. He already has built three different integrations that he will push live soon. All community built, all organic, no bots, no fake engagement. David, we've rated you multiple times. You see us, David. No bots, all real people. Check the CG, check the X. It's Honk, baby. The OG goose, man. You know, you got enough cats, you got enough dogs. There's not an OG goose running around.
I appreciate.
I know David speaks.
I appreciate. Listen, I'm speechless.
I understand, baby.
I'm speechless because, you know, at the end of the day, you had an opportunity to just have the conversation, and all you said was the dev, and we got rugged, and we're back, and you see the goose.
Well, hold on. We didn't get rugged.
No, but I'm just saying that's what it sounded like.
Hold on, no. Well, let me talk, David.
No, but this is. Do you know how expensive this time is?
Well, hold on. You're offering the call in, so
yeah. I mean, I'm offering to go ahead and have a conversation about the markets. What's happening with the markets? What are we doing? I'm not offering for a shill fest.
The markets are honking. I just told you the markets are honking, baby. What do you mean?
All right. I appreciate you calling in.
Honk has done a 3 to 4x in the last couple of weeks, man. So while you're worried about the markets, things are moving, you know, organic things.
I appreciate you calling in and turning this into a 4-minute chill fest. But shout out to you, man.
That's what the goose does. I'm sorry, David. The goose comes in and it takes over, man. It's pure chaos with the goose, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate you. Have a great Monday.
At the end of the day, Dave.
Guys. You have an opportunity to call in to have a conversation with me. If you listen to the 30 seconds of that rant, you learn nothing. I told you. This ain't, if you've ever seen me judge, maybe y'all forgot about how I judge projects. You came on here, here's an open phone line. You can go ahead and call up and we can go ahead and chop it up, right? What did you do? You called up and you talked about a goddamn goose. I'm asking you what's happening in the markets, how you feeling? I want to get to, are you buying the dip? What are you looking at? Nope. You came in and you showed me a goose. You showed me a goose. And then everybody wonders why they're on welfare. See, if I would have got excited, if you would have been, if you would have said something that would have got me amped up. I'm going to give the goose a 0. There you go. There's my rating for the goose. I'm telling you, this is what I mean. I got to educate you guys. Because if I am a part of any project and somebody is opening up the lines to call one of the best shows within crypto, one of the highest rated shows within crypto, I'm calling up like a gentleman, especially as a man. I'm calling up like a man and I'm trying to break shit down. First of all, I'm going to try to schmooze you and talk to you. And then I'm going to say, hey, I have something that I'm a part of. May I talk about it? Now, if the host goes ahead and says, okay, you can, then I go in. When you call up sounding like you just drank a bunch of Bud Lights and you just woke up after watching your football team lose. Anyway, let's go to the next caller. What's going on? You're live with David Gauction on the breakdown.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the markets, right?
What's your name first? I mean, like, I feel like you just grabbed me by the hand and threw me into a table.
I gotcha. Well, my name is TJ.
What's going on, TJ?
This market, man, is something. So, like, you're asking how do we feel about the market? I think the average guy out there, just you got all these content creators, and a lot of them is saying that Bitcoin is going to go to about 75K. So you're like, all right, we're in the step, but it's not bottom, right? So we're like, what should we do? Should we buy the dip or should we wait for that 75, 80,000 range, which is the actual dip, So I think a lot of people is just scared to FOMO in.
Well, here's the way I look at the markets. Even if we were to go down to, let's say, 74, 76, whatever that number is, right now, Bitcoin's at 90,000. I'm buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to 85,000, I'm buying Bitcoin. Goes to 84, I'm buying Bitcoin. Goes to 80, I'm buying Bitcoin. It's called DCA. You can't go wrong with DCAing. So you don't have to start predicting what the bottom is. You just continue to buy. If you believe that Bitcoin is going to do incredible things, then there's no need to guess. You go ahead and spot buy, you DCA, and you hold.
Yeah, no, for sure. So let's say your average viewer watching this show, right, is not an expert in crypto. That's why we watch you guys to learn some things, to keep up with the news and all that. And tell me if I'm wrong. Right now, the news let's say before this last 30 days, before Trump said anything about that 100% tariff on China, everybody was bullish. They're waiting for the altcoin season to start, as you guys say. So guess what? We got a big dump, and we're like, wait, what the hell just happened right now? Everybody's talking about altcoin season that's about to happen, and here we go 180 degrees the other way. So it's like a lot of confusion.
Here's my thing. This market is going to go absolutely parabolic. The altcoins are going to go parabolic. Bitcoin's going to obviously continue to run up. I'm waiting for Q1 2026 to really go ahead and get absolutely excited. I think Bitcoin finishes over 100K. I believe we started seeing Ethereum move up. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are like, I don't know which content creators you're listening to, but at the end of the day, there is a lot of money on the sidelines waiting to come in. You got pension funds, teachers unions, a ton of things, rate cuts, tariff checks that are going to go out. QT is over with. We got QE. There are so many things that are about to happen that people are just overlooking because they're not very educated about economics and how the world works. So that's really it. So if you are passionate about anything, if you have massive conviction in something, this is the time to go ahead and do just that. Just show your conviction into those plays. DCA is your friend.
Yeah, no, definitely. I do understand. But then again, a lot of content creators out there say, well, you have to take profits. You don't just watch it go up, and now you have to take profit so that you not the exit liquidity. Like right now, people said, oh, this is the last chance that BTC is going to go below 100,000. So hoping you buy the dip. Those guys that did buy the dip at 100K, 2K, right? It's not like, all right, I did buy the dip, and now we're down even more, and I'm like, what are we doing, you know? And then it's just like you got people feel like there's all this market manipulation because you got all these ETFs going live and all these good things, you know, in the crypto space going on. But if you look at the market, it's like nothing is happening. It's actually, you know, going down. And if you put two and two together, you do not get four when you look at what's happening out there in the government, what is being signed, the partnerships, the ETFs, and you know all that. And you look at the market trend, it's like, wait, something is not adding up here, you know. So maybe you can explain on that a bit more for just a normal average guy like me, so that it makes a bit more sense.
I will explain it, but I appreciate you calling in, and I'll break it down right now. But thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you, Dave.
You know, what he said right there, you know, at the end of the day, when the elites come in and when the quants come in, when you have people that have been doing this for their entire lives and, you know, and it's passed down from generation to generation and they know how to work the markets, they're going to work the markets in their favor. That's what's going to happen. They're going to work the markets in their favor. So there is way too much good news. I've already stated this. Vanguard is in. $11 trillion asset manager has told their clients, get ready for crypto, buy crypto. Essentially, that's what they said. You got Bank of America, which has told their clients that you should be allocating 4% of your net worth into crypto. Who would have thought? JP Morgan is now all about crypto. JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon has come out talking about how great stablecoins are. The news continues to come out and the news continues to be bullish. We have not started this party yet, ladies and gentlemen. We have not started. The run has not started. The run has not started. This is the pregame. This is the pregame. Now you can decide to finally bet on yourself and you can go in and front run the institutional players and big money, or you can decide to stay on the sidelines like a scared little bitch, and that's not gender specific, and you can watch everybody else change their lives and participate in the greatest transfer of wealth of all time. So you got to decide what the fuck you want to go ahead and do. Do you want to be a part? Do you want to be a part of this? Or do you want to watch from the sidelines and say that you watched the greatest transfer of wealth happen before your eyes, but you did not participate? Do you want to live with regrets? You have Bitcoin out there right now at $90,000. Can you imagine not getting into Bitcoin at $90,000 right now when every single body and their mother is telling you that Bitcoin is going to $1 million? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm long-term bullish. I guess that is the right phrase to go ahead and use. I don't give a shit about your short-term predictions. I don't give a shit about your short-term feelings. I'm in it for the long game. So for me to DCA consistently, it makes sense for me. I don't need to buy a Lambo. I don't need to buy a Ferrari. Okay? I don't need to buy depreciating assets. I'm fine. I am perfectly fine. That's why I can go ahead and buy the dip and buy the dip and continue to buy the dip. Because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do in any market. Have you guys not watched the top dogs in the markets, the top investors? Have you not read books about them and how they invest and how they build up their net worths? It's all great to talk about a goddamn meme token, but what else do you got that's worth something? You are taking a chance on a meme. Now, there are blue chip memes, but at the end of the day, are you just going to go 100% into memes, or are you diversifying within the crypto space? Do you got Bitcoin? Do you got Ethereum? Do you got Solana? Then do you have the other altcoins like Chainlink? Do you have XRP? Do you have XDC? Like, I can start naming it all out. Are you really collecting things that can give you a 5x instead of hoping that you're getting a 1000x? That's a question you have to ask yourself. We'll be back with more calls. 347-630-2399 right after this commercial break from Gemini. That's right. This show, episode 635, The Breakdown, is sponsored by Gemini. Go to Gemini.com/David G to look at Gemini's lineup of credit cards issued by WebBank. You got the Bitcoin credit card, you got the XRP credit card, and you got the Solana credit card. Go to Gemini.com/David G for more. Also, click my link, sign up to Gemini, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. That's right, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply, new users only. Again, click the link, sign up to Gemini, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. We'll be right back with more calls from the audience. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. You can go ahead and call in 347-630-2399. If you want to go ahead and chop it up and talk about what is happening in crypto, you can also call up about politics. We can chop it up about politics. We have at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Perianne coming on. Perianne Boring coming on from the digital chamber. We'll talk about everything that's happening out there in DC. Interesting, right? Interesting topics to go ahead and talk about. Where's crypto going from here on in? Very bullish with everything that's happening out in DC. I'm absolutely excited about everything that is happening, how hard people have been working, especially people like Perianne have been working absolutely hard as hell to get clarity into this space because it deserves it. Digital assets deserve clarity. Okay. We are the new wave of finance, and there is nothing you could do to stop it. Just like I am the new mouthpiece for finance. And I've been saying that for not just me, but a lot of people are saying that I am the new mouthpiece for finance. And I take that very seriously. I take that absolutely, extremely seriously. At 1:45 p.m., we also have James Fishback coming on. He is running for governor of Florida. We'll go ahead and talk to him. Anybody from Florida should tune in to hear him speak about what he is looking to do. He is looking to do out there in Florida. That's right. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch me on TikTok. I'll be on TikTok doing a solo stream where we will be talking about cryptocurrency, and also we'll dive into politics. That's right. So there you go. This show is sponsored by Gemini. Go ahead and click the link. Okay, click the link. For those who don't have the link, I will provide it. I'm going to make a link tree because at this point, I don't really care what X says about links. I will make a link tree so you can go ahead and click on the link and sign up. I know a lot of my viewers are from Canada. I can't do nothing about that right now. I will have a conversation about it and see what and when Canadians will be allowed to go ahead and sign up. But if you can sign up, if you can't, or and you're looking for, obviously, if you are looking for a new and better exchange, then look no further. It's Gemini. Gemini's done a phenomenal job marketing now. Phenomenal job marketing. They've always done a good job marketing, but I mean, it's new next level contemporary. I mean, everywhere I look, it's Gemini, bro. Seriously, everywhere I look, it's Gemini. All right, you can call in again, 347-630-2399. Some people saying they're trying to call in, but they're having a hard time. Must be your mobile carrier. Must be your mobile carrier. But again, here's what I say. I'm confident in this market. And by the way, let me just update what's happening in the markets right now. We are at 89. We're basically at $90,000. It's going back and forth, 89,900 to $90,000. That's Bitcoin right now. Remember this. At some point, Michael Saylor went ahead and bought like millions of dollars of Bitcoin. And that happened today. Strategy went ahead and bought millions of dollars in Bitcoin. Tom Lee bought millions of dollars of Ethereum. How you cannot be bullish on the markets is crazy. I can't even convince you no more. If you don't see what's happening with big money and how big money is coming into the markets and how they're buying up, I can't save you. I can't save you. You know, the craziest part is with Michael Saylor, you have all these, for me personally, this is my personal opinion, speculation, I guess, but you have all these big time players. All these big time players, I'm talking about the institutional players that are trying to take him out. Michael Saylor front ran all the institutions, and they have tried everything possible to spread FUD and rumors about Michael Saylor's going to have to sell. They're trying to make it uneasy for people participating in the crypto markets. But a lot of the things that they're saying is not true. A lot of the things that they're saying is absolutely bullshit. Absolute 100% horseshit. Tom Lee's out there. If you're not listening to Tom Lee's out there just ranting away, letting you know, like, hey, look, Ethereum is going to be used. People are going to build on Ethereum. We are taking a bet on Ethereum. He believes Ethereum is going to hit $12,000. Whether it happens or not is a different story. But when you have people that are well connected with big money, they talk every day. These are people that talk to each other every single day. I would take it seriously. I'd take it absolutely seriously. I would not be fading anybody. Don't follow blindly off a cliff, but I would not be fading people that work in the markets every single day. Tom Lee talked about Bitcoin going to these levels on CNBC. I remember that. Nobody believed him. And look what happened. Michael Saylor has bet on himself. And I love people who bet on themselves. I love people that put their names out there on the line, willing to bet on everything. Bet on themselves. And I believe Michael Saylor and I believe Tom Lee will have the last laugh. I believe both individuals will have the last laugh. You could call Michael Saylor crazy, but Michael Saylor is doing something that you would never do. He's betting on himself. He also sees what Bitcoin is worth. I'd rather be in Bitcoin than fiat. Why would I be in fiat? Fiat is worthless. It's unfortunate. It's not that I want fiat to be worthless, but it just is. It's not backed by anything except debt. $38 trillion in debt, ladies and gentlemen. That's not even fucking normal. $38 trillion in debt. Tell me how normal that is. The greatest country in the world is $38 trillion in debt because we've printed out of control. We have literally done everything possible to destroy the dollar. Not us, by the way, though, but the boomers. The boomers have done everything possible to destroy the dollar. And they succeeded. They're okay. They're not worried. They're fine. But this generation deserves better. This generation deserves better. We don't deserve to be working for the centralized system, deserve to be working for the same people that caused the situation. We don't deserve any of that. Bitcoin is your opportunity to escape the system. Whether you like Bitcoin or not, that is the truth. Digital assets in general are a way to escape the system and open up your eyes to realize what is real money. Obviously, Bitcoin is money. And once you start to figure it out, once you start to educate yourself on all these topics, you'll become better for it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, folks. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it before you can't. Because at some point, it won't be too early anymore. It won't be too early anymore. It'll be very, very, very late. It will be absolutely late. You'll be late to the party and you will be forever stuck in the centralized system and you will be questioning the decisions that you have made during this current time where you could have grabbed up as much wealth as possible. Don't live with regrets. That's all I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Do not live with regrets. I'd rather lose than ever regret not doing something. That would be painful. For me personally, that would be very painful if I did not take the opportunity. How can you not look at this environment right now and say, you know what? I am not going to participate in the greatest transfer of wealth of all time. How can you actually sit here and not take advantage of everything that's happening? Why wouldn't you take advantage? This is your time. Instead of listening to utter bullshit that is created by hype men, start learning about Start. You're still early about this. You're still early here too. Start learning. Start learning. Start learning. By the way, CZ did a great job on my boy Peter Schiff. Shout out to Peter Schiff. But my boy CZ did a great job to Peter Schiff at Binance Week when he handed him that gold bar, man. Did a great job, by the way. Did a great job. Wonderful job. Absolute wonderful job. Let me go ahead and let me just retweet real quick the number. Because I tweeted it out, but I forgot to tweet the number. So I apologize because people are way too lazy now in society to go ahead and actually come into the stream and get the number. Let's go and call in now. Talk about markets. Before Jesus Christ. Honestly, let's. Damn, I look good, man. I can't front, man. I am a good-looking guy, man. Anyway, sorry about talking to myself. Sorry about. Actually, I'm not sorry about talking about myself. Anyway, real quick update again. Bitcoin is at 90,000. It's back over 90. We got Ethereum at 31.13. We got XRP at $2.07. I have been. This whole XRP thing, by the way, I feel like I've been battling for no reason. Is on a different network. I've been going back and forth. I've been saying like I have bags of XRP. I just feel that Chainlink is a problem, right? Chainlink is a problem in the sense that they're helping Swift. So it'll come down to both XRP and it'll come down to Chainlink. And I explained why. I explained why Chainlink has an opportunity to dominate within the banking system. I explained it. Especially when the banks are looking to tokenize. I explained why. I explained the reasons. And a lot of people were getting mad at me. Don't get mad at me, man. I didn't say XRP is going to zero. I just said that at the end of the day, there's competition. And healthy competition is good because it will either bring out the best in you or it's going to make you go to zero. And I think that, I think Ripple has really good people behind them. You have Brad Garlinghouse, you got Chris Larson, you got David Schwartz. So I don't think you should be worried. Especially with Brad Garlinghouse, that guy is willing to go through a wall to go ahead and make sure that, that Ripple itself succeeds with its products. So I wouldn't be scared. I wouldn't be frightened. I wouldn't be upset. My job is to go ahead and commentate and just talk about numbers and real data. Okay, I'm looking at data right now. I'm staring at data right in front of me. Numbers don't lie, people do. What do I always say? Numbers don't lie, people do. That's it. It's simple. We can all be fans of something. But at the end of the day, you can't marry these things. Do not marry your assets. It is the worst thing you can do. When you turn this thing into a sporting event, you will lose. You will round trip. I promise you, I've seen it. When people get too stuck on their assets, they lose. And I can point to every single body who has, look at the NFT community. They held on to their Bored Apes and Mutant Apes and Crypto Punks, and you want me to keep going, Azukis? They round tripped. People held on too long to their memes. They round tripped. And I'm talking about last cycle. People held on to their altcoins. They did a full round trip. You can't get married to these things. At some point, You have to sell and get profit. And I keep telling you guys, no matter how much, you don't have to like Bitcoin. You don't have to like Bitcoin. But at the end of the day, that's where everybody's going. So you want a piece of it. Smart money looks at an asset and they have to come to a conclusion whether or not this asset is going to perform for them to where they get wealth back. That's what you need to be doing. The whole sporting event atmosphere that you're putting out there, that does you no good. It doesn't do you any good. It's not going to help you to be successful in this ecosystem. It's not going to help you be successful in life. Because if you haven't learned from your mistakes in previous cycles where you have round tripped millions of dollars, this is the like I keep on saying this. This is the last air quote cycle because there is no cycle. After this, you're done. You've got and it's crazy. You've been given multiple chances. You've been given multiple chances in the crypto ecosystem to be successful. Take advantage of it. This is the last time. This is really the last time. You want to go ahead and take a chance on the altcoin market and the memes. You want to make that 50x over there and then bring that profit over to Bitcoin. Okay. You're riskier than other people. Your risk tolerance is different. No problem. No problem. But you do need to have some sort of plan. And the end goal, as I always say, the end goal has to be and has to include Bitcoin. Because no matter what people tell you about Bitcoin, they're wrong. You're live on the breakdown.
David.
What's going on? Who's this?
Man, my name's I have a YouTube. Been watching your streams. Appreciate you for the crypto space. For tuning in so late to chop it up with you about the market.
What are you feeling right now? What are you doing right now? Currently, when you're looking at this market as a as a market participant, as a market participant, what are you looking at right now?
Well, right now, the forward cycle is over. The new narrative for the bull about the business cycle. We see the P oscillations clearly oscillating below 50. We're hoping that once it makes above 50, they're going to go parabolic. We look back just a couple quarters ago when some signs of recovery PMI, alts went up hardcore, and everyone thought it was our alt season. But look at the Bollinger Band volatility lows right now. I think the only that we have, thinking that we had a bull cycle, that Bitcoin made new all-time high.
You broke up there a little bit for me. I'm sure everybody else heard you, but you broke up a little bit for me.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. Okay.
I hear you now, but I don't know if you're cutting in and out.
Right here, so I'm going to move it to a different spot. How about this? Sounds good?
Yeah, it sounds better.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was saying, right, bull case, the narrative for the bull, we have a business that hasn't fully broken of, to a good sentiment, right? PMI 50. The only I think that Bitcoin has hit all-time highs. Everyone's been based off of days, right? The days in the cycle, the 4-year cycle having. But when you look at volatility is at all time. So what I'm expecting is PMI breaks above once the business cycle oscillates. We're going to go parabolic.
Yeah, I firmly believe that we are definitely going to. I think people think. I've been looking at comments. I've been listening to people or random crackheads talk about that it's over. But to me, I think personally that there is no cycle, and I know a lot of people disagree with me. Even my close friends disagree with me. Even Landy in his tuxedo arc disagrees with me. But at the end of the day, I feel like we are entering in. When you have institutions here who have loads of money that are trying to get in here, trying to participate. When you have the Vanguard's $11 trillion asset manager that has opened up the doors to participate in crypto, when you have teachers unions, when you have pension funds that are trying to get in here, when you have Bank of America, JP Morgan telling their clients to get into Bitcoin or get into crypto in general. Bank of America is saying, allocate at least 4% into your portfolio. Like when you have all these things happening, Trump, tax cut, rate cuts coming, income tax talk, where they're talking about getting rid of income tax, whether it's speaking about $2,000 tariff checks to be sent to, United States American citizens out here. I don't know how you cannot be bullish. I just don't know. Retail hasn't even participated in these markets. This would be if everybody was saying if it was actually true that the market was done with and we topped, then like we would have had no altcoin season, and really retail didn't participate in Bitcoin. So then we didn't really do anything here. The retail that we talk about is retail that has a lot of money. And the only retail that came in here was the retail that bought through ETFs. That's how I look at it. And that retail would never have came into this market. They're not the type of retail to sign up for a Coinbase account and write down seed phrases. Okay, like that's not retail. So we have not seen the most electrifying run of all time. We will see it soon, and I believe it comes in Q1. If you want to push it out, Q2 of 2026. But I appreciate the phone call, man. Something on your side, though, is glitching out because everybody's saying that they couldn't hear you that well. But I do hope that you call back. I do hope you call back tomorrow or the next day to go ahead and chop it up.
All right, David, we'll do. Call.
Welcome to the breakdown, episode 635. I heard him back and forth. Let's see. Let me see something. Somebody said the link to the stream is broken. So hold on. Give me a second to try to rectify this situation. This would suck if the link is broken. I swear to God, I'm gonna get off of Restream, man. Restream is absolute garbage. Let's see. Let's see if I can get this done quickly. Smooth operator. Okay, hold on. Okay. Technical difficulties as always. I hope this I don't know, people are saying that the link is broken, but we shall see. We shall see. Perianne Boring will be joining us at 1:15. Hopefully we can get her on. Technical difficulties happening right now. That's who I'm talking to. Shout out to man, I forgot his name. Shout out to him for I do apologize. I forgot your name because I couldn't hear it through the connection. It kept on hold on. It kept on going in and out, in and out, in and out. So but I do believe that people are wrong about the markets. I believe it. I just believe people are just absolutely wrong about the markets. I don't think we topped out. I don't think we ever started. I think we came early to the party. And that is my honest belief. I believe we came absolutely early to the party. And we participated in the pregame. So we watched all we did was we sat back and we watched the institutional tycoons go ahead and buy up Bitcoin, and all we did was watch a Bitcoin run. That's it. That's how I feel. A lot of people won't agree with me, and that's fine. And this is not me like looking for hopium either. Like, this is not hopium. Look, I am a bull tart, and that's obvious. Like, I am a bull tart because I'm bullish on Bitcoin if it hits $1. Like, if Bitcoin ever went to $1, I'm buying. Like, it's like I will forever be bullish on Bitcoin. I'm long-term bullish. And I told you that in the beginning of the show, and I've told you that on multiple podcasts. I'm long-term bullish. So when people talk about bear, I don't really care. I'm not here trading. Like, I'm not a trader. I spot buy, I DCA, and I hold, and I sit back. And when I need to go ahead and take out profit, I will. But I haven't found, like, I really, like, the time to take profit hasn't hit me yet. When everybody, I'm privileged. Yes, I'm born in the United States of America. I'm privileged. I can buy Bitcoin and hold it. That's it. Like, I am one of those, like a lot of people here in the United States of America, I'm privileged. I just buy and hold and forget about it. There's no need for me to go ahead and go crazy. Let's take one last caller before we go, because we got people here waiting. You're live on the air. What's going on?
What's up, David? How are you, bud?
I'm good. How's everything on your side?
Wonderful. But I was totally agree with you. I don't think anything yet.
Say that again. You chopped up at the end of that.
I say I agree with you. We haven't seen any.
Yeah, I don't believe we had that run. Like, I've been battling people on this, but there are a few people that agree with me, and I just don't believe, like, retail hasn't been here. Retail doesn't have money to come in here. Like, this is, to me, this is not what it was last cycle or the cycle before that. You literally have institutional players buying up. That's it. That's all it is. That's all. The altcoins haven't ran. Altcoins haven't done anything. So, like, that's just my perspective. If I'm wrong, okay, it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter to me because I will continue to buy and I will continue to hold. That's it. If you're telling me that Bitcoin is hitting $1 million, if every expert is out there saying Bitcoin's hitting $1 million, you have Tom Lee on CNBC, or I think he was at Binance Blockchain Week, and he's saying that Ethereum's going to 62,000. Why do I have to sell?
So if you, what really caught my attention, I didn't see on S&P and Bitcoin. Go back and look in 2020 when we had that COVID. Was it March 2020?
Correct.
And if you look at the deal of specifically, the back in April, look over how of the top. And of course, if you do it the same, of course, nothing's going to be the exact same, but patterns do tend to rhyme, right?
Look, I again,
I believe we still going to see a Bitcoin top. I think we might see a Bitcoin top.
But
later 2026.
At the end of the day, does it really matter? Like, if you are long-term bullish on Bitcoin, do tops and bottoms matter to you unless you're buying?
No, especially if you're long term, nothing.
That's
it
it.
ain't gonna matter. It just takes a lot longer. Yeah,
that's fine.
Sure.
I'm fine with longer. I don't care. And I think that's people are so short-sighted and they start looking at market caps. I don't really care. Like, market cap means nothing to me when it comes to Bitcoin. That's it. Bitcoin is something that every single person should have Bitcoin. Like, every single person should have some sort of allocation of Bitcoin in their portfolio. If you don't, you're crazy. That's how I look at it. But I appreciate you calling in.
But why Bitcoin? Why Bitcoin specifically?
Why Bitcoin specifically? I mean, Bitcoin
Yeah.
is out of that bubble. Bitcoin, nation states are trying their hardest to pick up Bitcoin. You have obviously there are so many like I can go through it. Like Vanguard has opened up, said Bitcoin. Like everybody says Bitcoin. Everybody wants a piece of Bitcoin. Michael Saylor just bought millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. Like at some point, it has to click and say, okay, like store value Bitcoin, which obviously started as peer-to-peer, but store value Bitcoin. I need it. I can hedge against it. It is real. I'm running on
But it's not
115. I'm
private.
sorry. I'm getting like
There's no.
I'm getting shit in my ear right now. I'm on 115. We'll be right back after this commercial break. We have Perianne here. I want to talk about all the regulation and all the bills and stuff that are being passed in DC to make crypto great again here in the United States of America. We'll be right back after this commercial break from Gemini. That's right. This program is sponsored by Gemini. Go to gemini.com/David G to check out the lineup of credit cards that are issued from WebBank. 4% back on your purchases in Bitcoin. Go get yourself the Bitcoin credit card and get 4% back on your purchases. Gemini.com/David G. Also, check out the link, click the link, trade $1,000 in crypto and get $100 in Bitcoin. New traders, terms apply. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. I'm muted too, though. Do you see the mute button on the bottom or no? It's okay. I love how it is always muted. You hear me though, right? Oh my god. I think you might have to come in and come right back out. I think that'll go ahead and get it to work. Welcome to live. This is this is live. This has been last 3 or 4 days. I don't know. Like it's been like connection problems. I got to call Restream. What is happening, Restream? What is happening? What is happening? We will be joined by Perianne. I really want to go ahead and talk about everything that she's obviously been doing. She's been doing a lot of things for a very long time out there in DC, fighting for really just fighting for crypto. Like it's and digital assets. It's been really cool. Let me just see if I can bring her back in and if we can go ahead and is it working now or no?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Thank God. I was like, thank goodness. Perianne, it's nice to see you, and it's always nice to see you on other outlets talking about regulation. How's it going out there?
I mean, it's incredible. It's been this year's been something we've been fighting for a long long time. We've had a very successful year. It's exciting time. I know you guys are talking about the markets. I am kind of surprised at where the markets are right now. I can talk about kind of my theory on that, but so many of the things that we advocated for and we've been fighting for many years have come to be. So it's a great time to be in crypto.
What out of all, yeah, and obviously you've been doing this for such a long time. I've obviously been watching as you've done a lot. I mean, you've done a lot. What do you feel is like your biggest victory out of all the things that you've battled out there in DC?
Yeah, and I am the founder and now the chair of the Digital Chamber, which is the oldest nonprofit trade association representing the crypto space. We were founded in 2014. So just the battle scars, the things I've been through, it is a lot. But I would say our biggest accomplishment would be having a pro crypto and a pro Bitcoin president of the United States. I was the first professional advocate for Bitcoin in our nation's capital, being kind of person number one, ground zero, when many people didn't take this serious, to now having a pro Bitcoin administration. Just that in itself is a huge feat. Oftentimes it's a leadership. So many of the issues we had were leadership issues. We didn't have any real champions because this has been so much of a grassroots bottom up movement. So to have Donald Trump in office, who wants to see this space not only be successful, but understands the importance of this to the future of the United States, it's a really big deal.
Did you finally say? Did you finally like walk out and like when all this stuff starts happening and legislations are being passed and it's finally pro crypto and you know pro blockchain and like we want this? You finally walk out, outside and say finally, like just like did you let off a finally?
Yeah.
Thank God.
In a big way. I mean, I changed my career. I mean, a big part of what I set out to do was to fight for this space and to give crypto a chance to go to market. So we've transitioned this year from being constantly in defense. The Biden administration was just we were just in fight mode 24/7. That they tried to choke off the entire industry. They tried to kill the industry altogether. We had Senator Elizabeth Warren and other members of Congress that were running for office. Literally, like their campaign website said, the anti-crypto army. I mean, we were up against very powerful forces, and all those fights, all those battles along the way. I mean, that's really what I was spending my time on, and it was important to me that we won, and we did. We won that last November when Donald Trump was elected into office, and not only that, we also elected over 290 pro-crypto members of Congress. So we now have the majority in Congress as well. So we've transitioned from being in that fight mode, being in that defense mode, to now we're on the offense. Now we're implementing positive laws and regulations that are going to cement our leadership on the global stage for the next generation. So that's, when I've decided to change my role at the Digital Chamber. I'm no longer the CEO. I held that title for 11 years. Now I'm serving as the chair of our board. And now I'm kind of thinking through what's the next step for me, because that was the big thing I set out to accomplish, and I did, and now we've moved on to a new phase of work.
I thank you for that. That is a real battle. Like you are really out there battling.
Many battles.
100%. All right. Do you think here's a question for you with obviously with all the positive regulations that are going to be coming out, the Clarity Act and all that stuff. Do you think we'll get our innovators back into the United States instead of having them, elsewhere, where crypto is actually accepted? You think we'll finally bring back our innovators and they'll be obviously in better conditions to go ahead and perform and build out?
Well, we're already seeing that happen. And the Clarity Act, this is market structure legislation, which is building the regulatory framework for digital asset markets. That's still pending in Congress. We still have a lot of work to do to get that on the president's desk. But that's going to essentially future-proof the work that the Trump administration is already doing. But a lot of that clarity has already been given to the markets. So the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, so the SEC and the CFTC, those are the primary market regulators for digital assets. They, through the various tools that they have, regulations, rules, and guidance, they've already issued several forms of clarity to the market. And that's really signaled to businesses that the US is open for business again. And then the legislation's just going to enshrine that in law forever. So we don't have another Gary Gensler era where you have somebody sitting at the top of an agency that's just creating mass destruction across a particular industry. So we're already seeing a lot of companies, a lot of people who left the U.S. altogether during the war on crypto to repatriate back to the United States. But the two big gorillas that are still outstanding, but looks like at least one of them is making moves to come back, are the two biggest companies in the crypto space. We can't be the future capital of crypto if we don't have access to the biggest and the best and the deep platforms and deepest liquidity pools. So those two gorillas, of course, are Tether and Binance. Tether's already announced their U.S. project, which will be led by Bo Hines, former White House staffer in the crypto and AI office. And Binance is a big question mark because they had a DOJ settlement that banished them from operating in the country for over 5 years. But I think it's not just about providing clarity; it's also putting in infrastructure so that we can welcome these big players in the United States.
Do you see a future where Binance does come back to the United States of America? I know there's Binance USA, but do you see Binance actually be at where they allow access to U.S. Retail buyers to use Binance itself?
It's really hard to know. I think the way that the United States government treated Binance and its founder and former CEO, CZ, is really atrocious. What they did to both of them was a manifest injustice. Nowhere in the history of our country has anyone else served prison time for an AML regulatory infraction. It was CZ, of course, is the first person who ever went to jail for that. And at the same time, you have every major financial institution who has just as many regulatory infractions, if not ones that are even more serious. And you haven't seen any of them go to jail. Nobody's gone to jail for the financial crisis of 08 or 09 still. And how many people were harmed by that? No one's been to jail on the financial side for what we've seen with Jeffrey Epstein, where there were real victims. So I think what we saw happen to Binance and what we saw happen to CZ, was not fair. So I was very supportive of CZ getting his personal pardon. But in terms of Binance being able to come back, of course, they settled with the DOJ. They were banished from operating in the country. Also, a nation's first, the company has 2 monitors in place. Never in the history of the United States has any company ever had to have 2 monitors. And this was the first FinCEN monitor ever put on the business. So, if I was running that company, would you want to come back to that environment? That's a big question. And that's not a question for me to answer. But I don't think it has damaged the most is American investors. Again, Binance is the biggest exchange in the world. They have some of the cheapest fees. They have the deepest liquidity pools. So it's in the best interest of American investors to have access to that platform. So it's not really a loss to Binance. It's really a loss to us.
It really is a big time loss to us. The breakdown, episode 635, here with Perianne. I want to ask you, you mentioned the markets. What do you think about the cycle? Do you think this, because I've asked I've had a ton of people on from Wall Street and had some institutional players on here. Most said that the cycle is over with. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the cycle is over with?
So my
And let
focus,
me adjust. Let me say the cycle theory.
right, yeah. So are we going to have that same 4-year bull bear cycle? Go into a crypto winter again? I think in short, no. I don't. I don't. I just think now that we have institutional players like like BlackRock and many others that are putting institutional level liquidity into the market, I just don't think you're going to see that wild of a swing. anymore, but there'll be, I think we are hitting a bit of a cycle. What I see is something a little bit different. And of course, I'm a policy person, so I'm looking at this from a policy angle. I lived through Operation Choke Point 1.0 and Operation Choke Point 2.0. I have seen that battlefield transform into this 3.0, which isn't really Operation Choke Point, but there is still a bit of a war that's going on. Although, we did elect President Donald Trump in a pro-crypto Congress, that doesn't necessarily mean that the anti-crypto army is completely dead. I just think the battlefield has changed in a material way. I do believe that there are real attacks that are happening on the crypto space right now that most people haven't really been able to identify or put a name to. In order to really understand it, I think you also have to look at the history of what was Operation Choke Point 1.0 and 2.0 to understand how it has changed a little bit. So if you just humor me and let me kind of explain it, because I don't think anyone's really talked about it at this level before. So Operation Choke Point 1.0 was under the Obama administration. I was actually working as a Hill staffer when that happened. It wasn't on crypto. It was just on other industries that the Obama administration disfavored, like firearms dealers was the target, payday lenders, and others. And essentially what you had was federal agencies that flagged certain sectors as high risk or reputationally risky, and they ended up losing their bank accounts. And it's called Operation Choke Point because if you don't have a bank account, how do you pay your employees? How do you pay your taxes? How do you run a business? You can't. So it's a way to attack an industry. Of course, that's not only just illegal, it's discriminatory, and they got caught doing that. And the powers that be learned from that experience and the strategy evolved. That brings us to Operation Choke Point 2.0, which happened during the last 4 years during the Biden administration, and the target was crypto. But instead of the regulators, federal bank regulators, labeling certain sectors as high risk or reputationally risky, they had to, and they had already gotten in trouble for that, they had to kind of evolve how they went about it. So instead, they gave very vague guidance saying there's novel activities or heightened risk or potentially reputational risk. And that was enough to give pause to the banks to be able to, again, target an entire industry and debank the industry. And so many people were victims to that. Of course, they got caught doing that again because it's not only illegal, it's also discriminatory. And that has been shut down now that we have a pro-crypto administration. So here we are in 3.0, which I'm calling not Operation Choke Point 3.0, but Operation Capture Crypto. I believe from just my own intuition and following this space for well over a decade that the powers that be and the biggest incumbents, the people and the companies who have been very negative on Bitcoin and crypto, who have given public statements calling it rat poison 2.0 or pet rocks, or name your funny name. Now these same institutions have now understood that this is not a fad. This is here to stay, and we need to get a piece of the pie as well because that's what we do. Hence, capture crypto. So I do have an intuition that there is a bit of a war that is going on between these bigger players that want to capture the rails, tilt the playing field in their advantage. They're running a narrative war. So, how did we go from, Tether is raising $20 billion on a $500 billion valuation to they're insolvent in 2 weeks? That was literally the headlines on Tether in the past 2 weeks. Makes no sense. And why would this happen? It's so they can capture it, so they can put it in their own wrappers and put fees around it. So what do those attacks really look like? Well, there's some narrative wars that's going on. The Tether one was just one example, but there's others. You're also seeing these big players all launch their own Bitcoin and crypto native products. We've seen many of those in the past couple of weeks. But the big nail in the coffin is this MSCI index issue. And I don't know, David, if you've covered that on your show. But that is a direct attack on Bitcoin and crypto or digital asset treasury companies in favor of different players. So make no mistake, the war on crypto is not completely over. The battlefield has changed. They no longer can conspire with, the federal government. So it's happening all in the private sector. So I just share this because this is something I've been following for several weeks now. I do have some concerns, and I think there's a lot that needs to be done to make sure that manipulation is not happening in the crypto markets.
I like that because I have touched on that. I like the fact that you've brung that up, and that was very detailed, and I appreciate that. Michael Saylor, what was it for the last 2 weeks? The amount of negative news that came out, it did feel like it was coordinated by not crypto, crypto X or whatnot. I felt like it was more institutional, JP Morgan, quants and whatnot, whispering that out there into the universe. And you had just a bunch of people just start tweeting about it and messaging out that, Michael Saylor's about to liquidate, he's about to sell, about to go insolvent. And I was like, wow, like our own space sometimes eats itself apart. What are your thoughts on that when you saw all that stuff start coming out?
Yeah, that was another example. You see these narrative wars on it's all the biggest crypto players that are taking the hit. So you just talked about the one on Saylor and micro strategy or strategy. I already mentioned the one on Tether where somehow they're going insolvent, which doesn't even make sense. There was a really big one on Binance a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. A law firm, a plaintiff firm, is now trying to blame the October 7th terrorist attacks on Binance because they're saying the money was laundered through their platform. But, I watched the settlement and I read all of those documents. And when CZ pled guilty to his regulatory infraction, the judge said that there was no money laundering, there was no illicit finance. And he even thought it was fair to say that CZ had no knowledge of illicit transactions going through the platform. So that's obviously a lawsuit looking for a payout to also create a narrative in favor of somebody else. And then we also saw Jack Mallers was debanked, which, the debanking issue is supposed to be over. But why was the CEO of this very large Bitcoin company just debanked by JP Morgan? Again, I don't think the war on crypto is totally over. I think it is morphing into a very, very smart strategy that most people don't even see yet.
Last question. I know you're busy. Last question for you. Do you think we get the Clarity Act passed before the midterms? Because that's the biggest thing for me. Because it's just like, are we delaying until midterms here?
So if we don't get it done by midterms, I think the likelihood of it getting done at all drops well below 50%. We had Senator Tim Scott, who's the chair of the Senate Banking Committee. Of course, this bill has to pass through his committee, come speak to the members of the Digital Chamber just 2 weeks ago. And that's exactly what he said. He said it has to get done before midterms. Otherwise, he said if we don't get it done before the end of this year, that brings the chances of it getting done at all down quite a bit. And if it doesn't get done by midterms, we could lose our legislative pathway. So what's important to understand is in the history of modern US politics, anytime you have a wave, so we have a red wave where you have Republicans have the White House, the House, and they have the majority in the House and the Senate. Anytime you've seen a wave like this where one party controls all three of those chambers, usually when the midterms comes around, you lose one or the upper or the lower chamber. It's just, the pendulum swings, it's got to swing back. So it's not necessarily someone's done something wrong. This is just kind of how politics have evolved. So it is widely accepted that Republicans will likely lose either the House or the Senate in the midterms. So we like to think that crypto is a nonpartisan issue, and we've certainly worked very hard to keep it a nonpartisan issue. But the reality is that the Democratic Party took a very anti-crypto stance, and we need both the House and the Senate to get the bill done. So if Republicans lose either the House or the Senate, it will be very difficult to get any crypto bills passed through Congress. So this is a huge priority, and the window to get it done is starting to narrow.
Perianne, boring. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on with all the. Like, I don't know what happened with the link, but we'll go ahead and look into that. But I appreciate you, and I hope to have you on in the next month or two to go ahead and talk more about this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to come back anytime. Love your show. I love the live call-ins. I may even just call in just to spam you.
Call in, like totally call in. I really do. I feel like I've been doing this for a long time, and I just feel like we're the new face of finance because
I'm being on this side. I gotta like switch. I gotta like turn the tables. I'm gonna interview you, and you're not even gonna know it.
Well, like, don't you feel that way though? Like we're like the new like mainstream media, like except for Charles Payne because I love him because he's all about retail. Um, I feel like there's we know what crypto is, we know how how it works, and who better than us to go ahead and tell the story about it? So like to me, I think we don't have any agenda. We want to just see, me personally, I just want to see it work and everybody have the opportunity. So I think we're the new mouthpiece for finance. That's really how I look at it.
Yeah, the tables are turning.
Tables are turning. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks, David.
Have a great one.
You too.
Definitely give Perianne Boring a follow. She has been working tirelessly. I've been watching like from the sidelines as she has worked tirelessly to get things done in this space. Like I'm talking about. I've watched, and this is where the two ears, one mouth comes into play, right? You sit back and you watch people just work, 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 and you don't know, like you really like, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. But she worked extremely hard. Her and others, man, just worked extremely hard to have our voices heard in this space. So we got to congratulate the footworkers, like going out there, not just sitting at home, okay, not just turning on a camera and being on a microphone, but we have to acknowledge the people that are out there, hitting the ground and working and establishing a case for us, okay, for us. So shout out to Perianne Boring, definitely a major contributor to what is happening here in our ecosystem. We'll be back at 1:45 with a candidate for the governor of Florida, James Fishback. We'll go ahead and talk to him and see what he's up to, and we'll get his thoughts on crypto as well. Gemini is the sponsor. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to episode 635 of The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini, of course. Go to Gemini.com/David G to find out more about Gemini's lineup of credit cards. 4% back on your purchases. Again, Gemini.com/David G. All the credit cards are issued by WebBank. Also, click my link, and sign up to Gemini. That's right. Sign up to Gemini, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply, new signees. Let's go. Gemini. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to the show. We just had Perianne Boring on, and my God, she just dropped facts. I mean, she was dropping facts. She was so detailed too. Perianne is so detailed. You gotta love her, man. You gotta, guys. If you've never seen Perianne before, like I'm telling you right now, she is one of the people that absolutely helped make crypto great again in the United States of America. So give her a follow. Up next here with us live, we have maybe the next governor of Florida. I don't know. James Fishback is here joining us live. James, how's it going? You're muted. What is everybody muted today?
I am muted. That was the Chinese government trying to censor me. That was the big tech.
There you go. Well, I'm happy to have you here. My staff ran into like some of your videos and then they sent it to me. I was like, man, this dude is really passionate. I got to get you on, man. Before you start, what do you think about crypto? I'm just going to throw it out there.
I like it. I mean, I'm a big Bitcoin fan myself, personally invested in it. I think the big thing right now is what I've committed to do last week, which is create a Florida Bitcoin strategic reserve. Most importantly, to allow people in Florida to actually pay off any state debt or county property tax directly with Bitcoin. We have to lead the way on this and not lose sight of this revolution.
All right. So you're running for governor. And I mean, I think Florida is amazing as it is, but what are some things that need to get better? Like, I'd like to hear from your perspective. Like, what do you think are some things that we need to go ahead and fix in the state of Florida?
Well, I agree with you. Florida is awesome the way it is. And part of why I'm running is I want to preserve what Governor DeSantis has given us as historic wins, whether that's keeping Florida free from radical DEI, gender ideology, the Soros-backed prosecutors, threats to election integrity, keeping us safe from illegals. We need to preserve all of that. So part of it, David, is saying, I'm in this race to keep the good going, to keep the good times going. The second thing we have to do is we have to address the number one issue across our state, and that is affordability. I'm a fourth generation Floridian, and I can tell you when my dad was growing up in the 1960s, only, or rather half of 30-year-old men were married and owned their home. Today, less than 15% of 30-year-old men are married and own their home. And so when young men, and by extension women, they have to be married to someone, when they can't buy a home, when they can't get married, when they can't live out the full arc of the American dream squarely because of affordability, that's a really big problem. That's why I've said I'm going to end the H-1B scam that's taking so many jobs from our entry-level workers, especially our recent grads. I'm going to end that scam so great paying jobs can go back to Floridians again. I'm also going to ban Blackstone, BlackRock, Airbnb, and foreign nationals from buying up our homes, David, because remember, our homes are for Florida families. When my parents bought their first home in 1996 in Broward County, where I grew up, they weren't competing with a hedge fund, private equity firm, or an Airbnb investor. They were competing with other families. And when we lose sight of who homes are for, then we've lost sight of who America and who Florida is for. And so two things are why I'm running. The first is to preserve the great wins that Governor DeSantis has given us. And the second is to deliver a comprehensive affordability mandate, whether it's housing insurance, whether it's property taxes, auto insurance, bringing up real wages by increasing the number of great paying jobs. We have to make life more affordable here in Florida.
James, they've been talking about getting rid of property taxes. What are your thoughts on that?
I support the complete abolition of property taxes for Florida residents on their primary homesteaded property. So let's talk about what that means. Look, in America, you either own your home or you don't. For folks who are paying rent to the government, if they wanted to pay rent, they could just rent a condo. That's not the case. They actually wanted to own their home. And so the vision we have for Florida is one in which once you buy your home, you own it free and clear. And the great thing about Florida is we have other places to pull revenue from, including and especially tourists. I support increasing the fees that tourists pay when they come into our airports or when they go to our theme parks or when they come into our ports like Port Canaveral, Port Everglades, or Port Miami. That's a really awesome multi-billion-dollar revenue source that we can pull from to support the state's tax needs without overtaxing our own citizens. And so who does this property tax relief not apply to? If you are from New York and you own a home in Florida that you live in 6-7 months out of the year, there's no property tax relief for you. If you are a foreign speculator, there's no property tax relief for you. If you're a Florida resident, but you own a second, third, or fourth home in other parts of the state, your other homes will not have property tax relief. Property tax relief is only going to be for Florida residents who live and own their single home. That is it. And if we do that, we'll actually be able to deliver the biggest tax cut that Floridians have had in over 50 years. Think about that. The extra $5, $10, $15, $20,000, what you could be doing with you, your family, your kids, or your grandkids if you had that extra money to spend and invest. And that's what we're going to deliver.
Joined here by James Fishback on episode 635, running for governor of Florida. I like what you're saying already. Like, I just like it. I want to ask you about, you mentioned the Bitcoin reserve. Have you reached out to any, prominent Bitcoin figures to go ahead and talk about that?
I have. I'll be sharing names soon, but I've been busy taking notes. Just for background, by the way, I was a macro trader at 2 different hedge funds for 10 years. So my background is trading interest rate derivatives and currencies. And so I've studied Bitcoin from afar and really juxtaposed it to other currencies that I've traded personally, like the euro, the yen, the Canadian dollar. What's just amazed me about Bitcoin is not that it's just unhackable in the figurative sense, but also in the literal sense, in that our monetary hacks in Washington, D.C., the Fed, can't print more of it. Fixed supply is everything. That's where Bitcoin's value derives from. Gold, you can mine more of it. Silver, even more so the case. The dollar, we know they can just print it. They just ended quantitative tightening, in fact. And so the truth is that if we're going to be honest about a future of money, a future of fiat, Bitcoin has to be a part of that future. And I'd be the first governor in the United States to institute a strategic Bitcoin reserve at the state level and allow you to pay any taxes, any debts, any payments to the state with Bitcoin.
Oh my God. Chat, we have the chat going. I mean, oh my God. I mean, okay, so who's your competition right now running for the state of Florida?
So my main opponent, if you look at the polls, is Byron Donalds. He and I are within 10-point margin of one another. He is a congressman from Southwest Florida. I've known him for years, had dinner with him just a couple months ago. I think he's a good man, but I think he is has a wrong vision for the state at this time. I'm in this race because I'm the only candidate who will end the H-1B scam, who will develop and invest in a strategic Bitcoin reserve, will stop Blackstone, BlackRock, Airbnb from buying up our homes. And then lastly, on the issue of AI data centers, we're seeing this happen right now across Florida. They're buying up rural farmland, David, and they're turning it into these data centers that do 2 things. They threaten our natural environment and they jack up our electric bills. If Sam Altman and Elon Musk, I have respect for these guys, but they're not going to come into our state, buy up our soil, and then jack up our electricity bills because they want to train the next version of ChatGPT. If you want to do that, you have to have a comprehensive plan on how it's going to protect our environment and keep our electric bills down. But until then, my pledge to Floridians is very simple. I will cancel any AI data center that threatens our environment or jacks up our electric bills.
Where does he stand on that?
He is supportive of it. So 2 weeks ago, he said, quote, I want to speed up the construction of AI data centers and quantum computing. Look, I want to speed up construction. I want to build more manufacturing in our state. He wants to make Florida the financial capital of the world. I want to make it the Bitcoin capital of the world, the cattle capital of the world, the agricultural capital of the world, and for it to continue to be the tourist capital of the world. We are a state that has a proud identity of agriculture, of tourism, a really important shared history. I never want to compromise that with cheap financial gimmicks. And AI data centers, speeding up their construction is a cheap financial gimmick that we will all have to pay for. This is not hypothetical, David. In Georgia, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, those electric bills right after the construction of AI data center, the people who live nearby, their electric bills are going up 30, 40, 50%. And so if you want to keep your electric bill low, and not low, but you don't want it to go up, and we're going to bring it lower, we'll talk about that in a second, then you have to cast a vote for the only candidate who's actually pledged to block the construction of these AI data centers.
And tell me more about that. Which you were just going to hit on. You said we'll talk more about that. Tell me more about that.
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Nuclear is the solution. Number one, I'm going to push for an immediate, indefinite moratorium on any solar or wind energy, solar in particular. We're seeing up farmland being bought up and turned into these monstrosities, this ugly solar panel nonsense. We're going to pause it, we're going to block it, and then we're going to actually do what we do best, which is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy solves all of our problems. And look, I want to be judged on two things, David, if the people of my state give me this awesome responsibility as governor. One, what is the number of 30-year-old men who are married and owned their home, and all of the policies that will come to encourage that? Number two, was your electric bill higher or lower from when I took office? I think by increasing energy production exclusively through nuclear energy, we can actually bring down electric bills across the state. That is a massive savings for Floridians, in addition to the property tax savings we'll also deliver. And so my goal is really simple. You should be able to afford to live, raise a family, and retire in our state. That is the number one thing. Everything else is secondary, tertiary to that. If you can't afford to live here, then nothing else, none of the good that we want to do is going to benefit you. And affordability, David, it starts with having a great paying job. If you don't have a job, quite literally, everything is unaffordable. This pack of gum would be unaffordable if I didn't have a job. And so we have to give people great paying jobs. The lie that's being told by many Democrats, but also quite a few Republicans, is that our people are not smart. I met a young man, he's the top of his class in computer science at FSU. Met him last week. He submitted 117 resumes. Top of his class, 4.0 GPA, hasn't heard back once. But many of the firms that he applied to, many of the companies he submitted resumes to, are still hiring H-1Bs, cheap foreign slave labor from India and China, not for high-level $300,000, $400,000 a year jobs, but for entry-level jobs. 80% of H-1Bs go to entry-level jobs. Crazy idea, David. In Florida, our jobs should go to our workers, not to foreigners. Because look, if that young man I met at FSU, if he can't get a job, he can't have an income. If he can't have an income, he can't buy a home. If he can't buy a home, he can't get married. If he can't get married, he can't have kids. If he can't have kids, honestly, what is the point? And so we're going to go back to basics on affordability, give people great paying jobs, because look, if prices had doubled over the last 10 years, but our incomes, our wages had tripled, we wouldn't be complaining about grocery bills and electric bills and gas bills. We complain because prices went up, but our take-home pay did not go up in the same way. And so I'm not just going to tackle affordability by bringing down the price of things, AI data center banning, increasing nuclear energy. I'm not just going to bring down the price of things. I'm going to bring up your take-home pay. So we're going to meet somewhere beautifully in the middle where prices come down, your wages go up, and then you actually have the American dream within reach.
I gotta say, James, you're cooking out here. You are cooking out here. If I lived in Florida, you'd have my vote. Like I'm literally telling you that. If I lived in Florida, I like everything that you said. You know what? I've watched everybody else, and it's been the same song and dance, and I like hearing a different perspective. And I really do hope you win, James. I really do hope you win. And anybody, and we have a lot of people that tune in from Florida. Guys, here you go, James Fishback, running for to be the next governor of Florida. I hope you win. I'm a Republican, and I do hope you, I hope you go ahead and get into that office, and continue to make Florida great again.
Thank you, David. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. That was James Fishback. I'll go ahead and put out his handle. And what's your website before you go?
Fishback2026.com. David, in this economy, I'm not going to ask anyone to donate, but if they could donate an hour or two of their time a month to volunteer, they can sign up to volunteer at fishback2026.com and read our plan to make life more affordable for their kids, themselves, and their grandkids.
Guys, you heard it here. You know where to go. And if you live in Florida, you got a good choice here, man. Thank you so much, James, for joining us. I appreciate that. And hopefully we can have you back when you win.
Sounds good. Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
Have a great one. That was James Fishback. Oh, my God. That guy, he was ready. He was ready. Oh, Austin Oates is in the chat. We'll be right back. Guys, you can go ahead and call in. Obviously, we had 2 phenomenal guests on today, but you can go ahead and call in to the show. Man, I got to tell, we had 2 great fucking guests today. Oh my God. Perianne Boring went ahead and absolutely killed it. And then you had James Fishback, who completely, like, yo, he's, yeah, I don't know, am I easily sellable? Like, yo, the dude was like completely focused. There was no script. This dude was like, I know what I'm doing. We're going nuclear up in this bitch. I'm telling you, man, this is week 7. And I have had some phenomenal guests. And we have more phenomenal guests coming on to the show. We got some big names coming on. We got some major names coming on. Not even huge, as Donald Trump would say, huge. Okay, we have some huge guests. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. I am so proud. I'm so proud of guests that come on here and know their shit. Bam, 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 bam. I know what I'm talking about. I like what Perianne said too. She said, there's Operation 3.0. We'll go talk about that. Again, you can call in 347-630-2399. Let me hook up the machine right now. We'll be right back after this Gemini commercial that I still do the voiceover for, because Austin Oates promised me to do the voiceover, but he never did. We'll be right back. And this show is sponsored, show 635. It's sponsored by Gemini. I am a proud partner of Gemini. And you can go to Gemini.com/David G to look at the lineup of credit cards that Gemini has to offer. That's right. The Bitcoin credit card, the XRP credit card, and the Solana credit card, all issued by WebBank. Get 4% back on your purchases, ladies and gentlemen. Go to Gemini.com/David G for more details. Also, click the link. Sign up to Gemini using my link. Trade $1,000 in crypto and get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply for first users, first-time signees only. We'll be back in 20 minutes. Not 20 minutes, 20 seconds. You can call the number. That's right. You can call into the show. You can call into the show. And go ahead and chop it up with me for a few minutes. 347-630-2399. We'll be back. God damn it. I was on mute the whole time. I'm mute. I hate this shit. Anyway, I just want to say, wow, what two really great guests on today. All my guests have been great, okay? All my guests have been great, but today, on a Monday, because usually people aren't dialed in on a Monday. My people were dialed in on a Monday. By the way, you can call in 347-630-2399. We had 3 callers today. We had more callers lined up, but obviously the show moves so fast, I couldn't get to everybody. So don't get disappointed. By the way, shout out to everybody watching from all over the place. I appreciate you very much. Okay. God damn it. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. You know, I wake up every day, and when I wake up, I open up the window. I'm kind of like Eddie Murphy coming to America. I'm like, good morning, everybody. I'm sponsored by Gemini. And you would think that Gemini would invite me to the offices. You would think. Nah, shout out to Gemini. I love Gemini. That's family. That's family. Yeah, doing a hell of a job marketing wise. Like, there ain't nobody doing marketing like Gemini. There's nobody doing marketing like Gemini. I'm sorry. Respectfully, nobody's doing marketing like Gemini. Like, the marketing that's being done is boring as shit. Like, I watch it and it's just like absolutely boring. Like really like the type of marketing being done, it's kind of like it's really like corporate. I'm like, ugh. Gemini got that cypherpunk energy to them. But you can call up now. Yeah, and here we go. We got a caller calling in. What's going on? You're live.
Hello.
Yes.
Is this the Gockstein show?
It is the Gockstein show. It's actually the breakdown, not the Gockstein show.
Yeah, whatever. So I'm trying to buy some meme coins. I either want to buy fart or I want to buy dog coin. What do you think I should do?
I already know who this. Yeah, I'm
Hello?
dying laughing. I can't stop laughing.
Sir, I thought you could give me financial advice. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, I just click buttons for a living, sir. I have no clue what I'm doing.
Well, can you get that smart guy you had on last? He seemed like he could do something about it.
Yeah. Yo, he's destroying me, man. Listen, Doge, I mean not Doge, but Dogecoin. Are we talking about Dog on Bitcoin?
Yeah. I keep seeing them everywhere. What's I need to know more about that.
You keep seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yo, I swear to God, man.
I live in my mom's basement. I don't have much time. I'm on Twitter all day.
It's not landing, man. I'm only I can't, honestly, I'm trying to be serious, but being that I know who it is and I keep on thinking about the fucked up haircut he got from Aubrey, I can't stop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm actually, Aubrey was
Can you
on
focus here? Can you focus here?
Aubrey was here. Aubrey was a guest on my show on Friday, and we literally talked about your haircut.
You got the wrong guy. I live in Long Island in my mom's basement.
I'm pretty sure you do.
I've been trading
there's
meme
no
coins for the
doubt
last
about that.
2 months.
Say that again?
Well, sir, now I feel like you're making fun of me because I'm a dedicated meme coin trader.
What exactly does that look like? A dedicated meme coin. You sound, somebody said you sound like Ken Kniff, and I actually agree with that.
Well, thank you, I guess. I literally live in my mom's basement.
Okay, so what is it?
I have a Coke Zero next to me, 2 liters.
What does it look like to be a meme coin trader?
Constant. I can send you a picture.
Send me a picture.
Why don't you just look up the South Park episode when Cartman was playing World of Warcraft?
Is this Vitalik?
I look like that guy.
Is this Vitalik?
I just need to know, should I buy dog or should I buy fart coin?
Listen, man, I think you should buy. Shout out to the dog community on Bitcoin. I think you should go ahead and look into dog. They're doing amazing things. The community's insane. They got no KOLs or influencers. They got a bunch of dogs in them. Is that
That's what
better?
I like to hear. Actually, my mom has a Pomeranian named Luffy. So I was really thinking about getting it.
What's your name again?
I'm anonymous. I can't tell you my name. If people will start looking for my bags. And I got big bags. I got a big inheritance.
Oh my God. Well, Ken Kniff calling live into the breakdown. I appreciate you, Ken Kniff.
I'm not Ken Kniff. I'm not Ken Kniff.
Ken, appreciate.
Listen. I'm not getting the alpha I need.
Yeah, you could probably give me more alpha than that. Oh my! I can't control my laughter. How do I do this with this guy? No wonder.
I bought a course. It was $100,000.
Well, what's the name of the course?
I need to make it back.
What's the name of the course?
6-figure trader in 6 months.
Oh my God. We appreciate you calling in, though, Ken.
I was buying Canadian.
Be nice to your grandmother,
whatever.
okay?
Thanks, guys.
Be nice to your grandmother.
Lulu! Lulu, I need some more Red Bull. We're going deep in the trenches. This guy on Twitter isn't doing anything for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Ken Kniff. I can't control my laughter because I know who it is.
Bye.
Bye, Vitalik. I can't. I couldn't control it. Like I would have loved to play. I would have loved to play along, but I can't. Like when you know who it is, like you can't. You just can't play along with it. Like I couldn't. I thought it was hilarious, man. Welcome to the breakdown. What a show. What a show. Man, what a show. We've had really good shows. I got to say, I got to pat myself on the back. Like the guests have been incredible. We have more incredible guests coming on this week and next week. Oh my God. What we have a lineup. You cannot miss this show. Like if you do not follow me, I can't with Austin, bro. I really, Austin, I feel like Austin's my little brother, bro. Like I can't with him, bro. Like I really can't. Like Austin does the same shit that I used to do at his age. Like literally, I used to do the same shit that Austin used to do at his age. I probably still do the same shit. You know what? I have, by the way, I have one of the, this month, we have such a lineup of huge guests. The only people we're missing out of all the notable names that are coming on are the twins. So I am asking, Austin, put this show on Austin, you put this show on in the Gemini offices right now. Austin, put this show on, turn this show on, put it on every single monitor. Put this on every single monitor. There's no way we're bringing on all the biggest names in crypto are coming on this month. There is no way that we don't have Tyler and Cameron here. Olivia, what is happening? And why can't I get Olivia on the show? I'm talking about Gemini does the best marketing out of all the exchanges on the planet, and I can't get Olivia on the show. Because Olivia thinks I'm a midget. She actually believes I'm 4'3". Can't get Olivia on the show. I gotta get Tyler and Cameron on here because it completes everything. It completes the guests that are coming onto the show, sponsored by Gemini. Okay, this show's sponsored by Gemini. I'm partnered with Gemini. I'm out here walking around telling random people in the street, this walk is sponsored by Gemini. This run in the park is sponsored by Gemini. I have to get to complete everything. I can't say the names that are coming on. I cannot say the names that are coming on, but they are coming on. Huge names are coming on. To complete this, I need to talk to Tyler and Cameron. And then during this month, I have to bring on Olivia. Because we have to talk about the marketing that has been done. The epic marketing that has been done by Olivia and the entire staff at Gemini. Shout out to the TikTok people. I can't comment on your stuff and I can't see you, but I know you're there with me. Let me go ahead and look. And let me be obnoxious. No, seriously, we for the next 2 months is going to be huge. We have a lot of notable names coming on. People that you have watched from podcasts, from notable big time podcasts, political figures, and crypto notable names. We have them coming on. It is only right that I have an exclusive with the twins. Because imagine me, one of the sexiest figures in crypto, in media. And then you have 2 more sexy, handsome individuals. So you have 3 handsome individuals on one show. Do you know the amount of electricity? And we all have Bitcoin. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what happens? Anyway, we will make it happen. The space needs it. Don't make me sit outside Gemini's offices. Don't make me sit out there, man. Don't make me sit out there. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown. I think I'm having a breakdown. Can't believe Olivia thinks I'm 4'2", man. It has been proven that I am 5'10", multiple times on multiple occasions, multiple conferences. And Olivia is the only person that still believes that I am under 4'2", and that I have never rode a roller coaster in my life. I'm sad. Very sad. But the show must go on. Also, I'd like for everybody to focus in. I am the only person in this space who has green eyes, like actual green eyes. So I want everybody to take note of these things. I also don't look my age. We'll be right back after this commercial break from Gemini with me doing the voiceover because Austin promised me, just like he promised me that I can come by the Gemini studios or headquarters for his 48-hour stream. But I was like waiting there like a former Commodore, waiting for a call that never came. We'll be right back after this commercial break from Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 635, The Breakdown, sponsored by Gemini, the greatest exchange in the world, America's exchange. Go to Gemini.com/David G for more on Gemini's incredible credit card lineup. All credit cards are issued by WebBank. Get up to 4% back on your purchases. That's right. Go to Gemini.com/David G for more. Also, click my link, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if you're from Canada anymore. You go ahead and you try to sign up. Click the link, share with your non-Canadian friends then, and trade $1,000 in crypto and get $100 back in Bitcoin. Terms apply. Terms apply. Terms apply. We'll be right back with the quote of the day right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I gotta say, this is probably the ugly. Yo, stop doing AI pictures of me because AI cannot replicate a handsome man like myself. It's like you guys try to do this and look how ugly I come out. Like, this is beyond ugly. Like, what is this shit? Like, what is that? Who is this? That is not even me. What the fuck is this shit? Like, really? What are you guys doing, bro? Like, this, y'all hating on me or something, man. This is beyond. This is terrible. It's obvious that AI cannot replicate me. Like, look at this crap. Why do I have wrinkles and stuff? Like, I don't even have wrinkles. You got like the crow, like the crow feet going here and stuff. Like, what is this shit? Anyway. Yeah, he didn't call in my ass, bro. That was definitely him. He didn't call in. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to the breakdown. I really do appreciate it. Um, we had a really good guest on today. We will have more guests on. Phenomenal guests are coming on. I am going to, a lot of people ask me this question though. On a serious note, a lot of people ask me, am I going to bring on Tyler and Cameron, the twins, obviously, onto the program? I will get that done. And I think specifically this month, I've always been like, oh yeah, I'll bring them on, but I want them on this month because at the end of the day, we have such a packed month with notable figures that I want Tyler and Cameron to be a part of it because they were a major part of everything that's happening today within crypto and obviously with Bitcoin. And being that we are bringing on some major figures that also helped build the way for everything that's happened, it would really be a disservice to not have them on for 10 to 15 minutes to talk to them. And just me with the conversations I have, it's easy. It's not an interview, it's a conversation. And I think it would actually be an incredible interview, and especially to the people that tune in, to the thousands of people, and I should say to the millions of people that tune in every single month to this broadcast. It would really be an absolute phenomenal event for them to go ahead and show up and get their flowers because they deserve it. Two stand-up individuals, a stand-up company that has always done right by its clients. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a partner with Gemini. I'm just saying, you guys know me. I don't blow smoke up at anybody's ass. But at the end of the day, when you look at what others have done compared to what Gemini has done, Gemini has always kept its word with its customers, has always had its customers' backs. And that has been proven. They could have easily folded, and they never did. And I really do believe Gemini is the cypherpunk exchange that we need. They don't list everything, and that's good. I like it that way. I think people need to earn a listing. That's right. And it's the cool brand. I think when, a lot of people say like, yo, D, you always talk about Gemini. It's the cool brand. It really is the cool brand. Respectfully to everybody else, it's not shitting on anybody else. It's just, it is the cool brand. Look at the videos, look at the marketing. And I like that they haven't taken any shortcuts. That's one thing I love about Gemini. They don't take shortcuts. They just don't. They have a long-term picture, a long-term outlook on where they want to go. And that's why it makes it easy to go ahead and partner up with somebody like this. That's it. That's bottom line. And I'm not kissing ass. You know me, I don't kiss no ass. I tell you how it is. It is what it is. But it's the truth. It is the truth. Let's go to the quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Clippers get on it today. Today we had two epic guests. That deserves to be those two. Well, a lot of my interviews lately deserve to be clipped, but these two, starting off the week, need to be clipped. Okay? It needs to be clipped. 100% needs to be clipped. 100%. I just got reminded that I forgot to put the ticker on the show. Let me look for the right quote of the day. Quote of the day. Here's the quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen. You will inspire some and you will trigger others. Both are necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Monday, episode 635, sponsored by Gemini. It is December 8, 2025. Oh my God, we're almost done with this year. We are almost done with this year. It has flown by fast. What a show. What a lineup we have this month. Stay tuned. Absolutely stay tuned. You don't want to miss out. The next 2 months are packed. You really don't want to miss out. You really don't. You really don't. This has now become one of the highest rated shows within crypto. And obviously the goals are higher than just crypto. As much as I love crypto, it's just not crypto. Obviously, I want to talk to everybody. Politics, and there's a lot of things that I want to go ahead and talk about. But from a crypto standpoint, we're right there now. And I'm extremely, extremely happy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who has done nothing but support and shown love for me and the DG brand. You can go ahead and tune into Hotep Jesus, who is live right now on Kick. Hotep Jesus live on Kick. Go ahead and tune into him. He's talking about Tim Pool and everything that happened by Tim Pool's house. I'll be on TikTok at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on there shortly. I'll be chopping it up. On that note, though, thank you very much for tuning in. Gemini is the sponsor. See you tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. From 12 to 2, we got guests coming on tomorrow. Until then, I'm out. And this show, episode 635, was sponsored by Gemini. That's right. Go to Gemini.com/David G to learn more about Gemini's lineup of credit cards. All issued by WebBank. Also, click my link. Click my link. My Gemini link. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. And if you're looking for an exchange, there is no better exchange than Gemini. Again, click my link. Click my link and go ahead and sign up. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Terms apply. Thank you so much. Thank you to the guests. James Fishback, Perianne, Boring, who are on here today. We'll see you tomorrow for episode 636.